morning. It is a surprisingly nice morning here in Paris. What I wanted to do on this fine fall morning is give you a little bit of food minimalism update. We are just now going to get a coffee, which we never do. We have been doing this food minimalism thing and we have been here for 1.5 months. We wanted to give ourselves a little bit of a treat and we wanted to give in a little bit to the cravings. There are two interesting things that I want to talk about regarding food minimalism today, but let's go first get a coffee. And by the way, I have never seen Paris without any clouds, and now look. The sun is even blinding. I don't even remember when I saw the sun last, so it is definitely a good experience. So I have already done 2 videos about what we are doing here and how we got here, about this whole having a budget and just trying to rationalize on how we buy our groceries and stuff. To get a context, just check those out. But the main thing is that this week, for the first time, we went a little over our budget. And I wanted to mention this because I think it is a great question whether it is okay to go over your budget or not, and what are the situations where you can go over your budget. But I think that in our case, it was kind of a reasonable thing to do. A lot of stuff that is for long term. For example, dried fruits and nuts and stuff like that. We bought at the first half of the week. So we bought them at once instead of trying to... So, sorry, the last street was very crowded. So the reason why we went over our budget, I think, was mostly because we didn't want to go to the store more. So instead of that, we just bought everything that we knew we would need in the forthcoming 2 or 3 weeks. And by the way, we only went over our budget like 4 euros, so it was not a big deal, but I think it needed to be mentioned. We already previously agreed on getting a coffee at the end of each month. We should have been going to get coffee at the end of September, but instead of that, we are going in the middle of October. And I think another good reason to go over your budget is when your health is affected by this whole thing. So I think you have to look out for that you really have enough veggies and fruits and stuff like that. Don't sacrifice your health. I think it is a good system that we created a budget for a week, so it is a weekly budget. You can keep track of it weekly. I think it is much easier to decide rationally about what you really want to buy if you have a weekly budget. So we managed to get our coffees with the power of the few French words that I knew and the power of the few English words that he knew. So that is all good. And now we are in the Luxembourg Garden and we are gonna find a nice place to drink this. Okay, so we are here in the Luxembourg Gardens and we are having our coffee. There are people so there are 30 people planking at the same time. Anyway, this is our little treat for having done well with food minimalism for 1 month. I'm having a cafe latte. Laszlo is having a
pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, because he is still eating sugar and I'm not. Therefore, the only thing that I can drink is just a plain coffee latte. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today is going over our budget. The other one is if you should consider your cravings or not. And my opinion on that is they are not particularly unhealthy. Then you can really tend to them. Just consider them as small treats and don't let them go overboard. Don't let yourself have them too often, because then you are not going to be able to keep up the reasonable way of getting your groceries and just managing your life, your spending. Do you have anything to add to that? Your own opinion, maybe?
I love pumpkin spice latte
That
very
is your
much. That is
opinion?
my opinion of
Okay.
everything.
It is kind of a tradition, I guess, for us to go and have a pumpkin spice latte, or for me now, I only have a cafe latte with cinnamon. But yeah, having a pumpkin spice latte is fun in the fall.
Yeah, it's been a long month.
Yeah.
A long month.
I think we are just gonna get back to our walks. Maybe we will hang out a little here. And thank you for watching. If you are trying to get into food minimalism, if you are trying to live on a budget, or if you are just trying to get a little bit more reasonable with your spending, I would be interested to know how that is going and what you are doing, and if you have any tips on any of the topics that I was talking about today. So what was I talking about? I was talking about going over your budget and about cravings. Oh, there's a pigeon here. So if you have any opinions on those topics, then I would be interested, and I will probably do a food minimalism update if anything interesting happens, because I don't really think it makes sense to do them each month or each week. I just think it makes sense to do them when something interesting is happening, and that is what I've been doing so far. So, yep, have a nice day. By the way, I'm having this coffee with caffeine in it, which I never normally do. So I think we have to get ready for the craziness to start. So another thing that I wanted to mention regarding getting a coffee in a foreign country and in a foreign city, it is so weird when they are asking for your name, because it is a very nice idea to have your coffee personalized and feel like home wherever you are in the world. But the truth is that all over the world people only understand English names or something very similar to the English version of that particular name. And here we are with our very specific names. They never understand my name. And I always have to say that, oh, just write Anna or something like that. So yeah, that is what makes me feel weird when I'm asking for coffee in a foreign city. Laszlo, what kind of names did you get on your coffee cup? Yeah?
Oh, my favorite one was Lancelot.
Yeah, like the Knight of Arthur.
It's a pretty nice name, by the way. I was
Yeah.
thought of renaming myself. I'm just kidding,
Yeah.
no. I like my name.
But yeah, it is funny because if you think about it, if you write it down and you're trying to pronounce it in French, it really sounds like Laszlo, something like that.
Lancelot.
No,
Lancelot.
you are not supposed to pronounce the T.
B.
The B's are
Being.
awakening. That is a shame because they are supposed to be sleeping by now in October. By the way, I don't know if this is global warming or
Just
if
basic Parisian weather.
or just basic Parisian weather. If you have any experience with Parisian weather, then let me know if this is global warming or what the hell. The middle of October and it is 22 degrees and there are bees everywhere. So it is strange.
I came for my pumpkin spice latte.
Oh yeah.
Look at it, how cute it is. It's trying to drink it.
I'm not really into bugs and insects. Not as much as other people are around here.
I like bees. They make honey. Alright, then.
Okay, I think we should leave.
It's time to move.
Yeah.